Time for an update now with our Meet the Mayors, and it's Hamilton Mayor Andrea Horwath talking about issues in the city. I guess right now there's a lot of pressing issues in the city, shootings among them. We've just had another one on the weekend.
Yeah, I mean, it's terrifying. I'm feeling the same way as Hamiltonians. It's very, very disturbing. One shooting is too many. Let's face it, one shooting is too many. So, as you know, the police have their shooting task force group that's specifically looking at this piece, and all we can do is continue to support that work and try to find ways to ensure that people are safe. And the shootings are everywhere. I mean, it's not one part of the city or another. Certainly downtown, as people know, but the East End and Stony Creek and on the mountain and up here in the Flamborough area. I mean, it's quite disturbing.
Are you working with the chief on this?
Well, I mean, the chief has the responsibility for policing, and so we basically, as both with my police services board hat, as well as as the mayor of the city, we really do work closely with the chief of police to find out, are there things that the city can do that would be beneficial and helpful. But gun violence is increasing in a very, I think, quick way, not only for the city of Hamilton, but other places as well. I've seen some terrible things happening in other communities also, and so a lot of it's drug-related crime, the vehicles that are the theft of vehicles, those kinds of things. Some of those situations are just, I mean, it's unbelievable, really, when you think of it, where things have gotten to now.
Another problem that so many communities dealing with, encampments. Like it, and as we get closer to the cold weather, what's happening?
Well, there's a number of things happening. One of the most important ones is the directive that I sent to staff, and we'll be getting a report next week that basically puts a system together that creates temporary outdoor shelter space with wraparound supports. So it's the idea is to try to get people into a more stable environment where they can start to receive some of the services that will help transition them into permanent housing. We just don't want to build more and more shelters. We've heard very clearly that there are barriers to participating in those shelters or being in those shelters. So this is going to be a low barrier solution, and we're hoping that this will help not only to get people a more stable place when the weather gets bad, as the snow flies, but most importantly, provide those wraparound services. And while we're doing that, we're also trying to get from the provincial government a commitment on about 400 units of both transitional housing, supportive housing, and affordable housing, so the whole gamut, as well as specifically some supportive housing dollars for some other projects. So that was something we discussed with them and have been for some time now, and I'm really hopeful that we get some of that funding, because we want people to have a stable environment where they get the supports that they need to be able to thrive and remain housed in a permanent way.
Are you looking at places all around the city for this? Temporary?
So it'll be more than one site, and the staff are doing that work right now, and we're also increasing the number of shelter spaces as well. So it's a kind of a two-pronged approach, if you will. We're increasing shelter spaces through the providers that already provide shelter, and we're putting together these temporary sites. It's like a bridge. And
are they going to be ready by the?
Well, we're working really hard. What it became clear to me is that we needed some focus, and that's why I put the directive forward to focus in on solutions. The staff do a really great job, and so many community agencies and partners are trying to support people, but at the end of the day, we need focus. We need our resources that are collaborative and collected into specific areas so that people can get the supports that they need, and we can reduce the impacts on other public spaces, which is something that we've heard loudly and clearly. And whether that's neighborhood community folks wanting to have safer or better experiences at their parks, or whether it's the business districts. I mean, there's just no doubt that things need to change, and that's why I put the directive forward.
Do you have a deadline for this directive?
Well, the staff are coming back on September 18th with the report, and so as I said, that we have been very, very focused on this as a city, and so I'm hoping that that report will give us all of the pieces that we need. And it's not just an information report, which is the key, right?
Yep.
It has specific directions in it, those that I've described. Low barrier, outdoor temporary, supportive, wraparound services. Yeah.
Okay, and before the snow flies.
And
we have
before the
run
snow
out of
flies.
time. Andrea Horwath, thanks so much. You're going to join us again later this week because you're going to be part of our special coverage from the Hamilton-Oshawa Port Authority, HOPA. So that's coming up on Thursday. We'll talk to you then.
Okay, nice to see you.